Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a little bit of a different kind of format, I think. I just made myself a huge ass smoothie. It is 5 bananas, some cherries, some like frozen cherries, some blueberries, and I also added some sugar. I will talk about that later in this video as well. And today's video is about if you want to transition to a more higher carb, lower fat, plant-based diet. I want to talk about the mental aspects because I've been on this diet, oh god, around close to 4 years. I hope I'm not lying. Yeah, pretty long now. But I do have to say, during that time, although I would always consider myself being high carb, low fat, although in the beginning I was more like high protein, like there have been nuances on how well I actually trust what I scientifically know to be true, which is quite interesting because maybe you started your personal vegan journey or more plant-based journey by seeing doctors talk about the benefits of eating more whole food, plant-based, more high carb, taking the fats out, taking the fats out in the sense of like added oils and that sort of thing. You started doing this, but you've not seen many results yet. You feel like you're questioning yourself. Am I really doing the right thing? Can I really be unrestricted with carbohydrates? Because it seems kind of daunting because most people believe and fear carbohydrates, which I completely resonate because that was 100% me. I mean, I'm sitting here now with a 5 banana smoothie where I added sugar to it. And back in the day, during my low carb phase, shall I say, I still obviously liked smoothies and I thought it would be healthy for me because, you know, fruits and veggies are always good, but I added like half a banana. And I told the story before because it just makes me laugh of how twirled in I was when it comes to, I don't know if that's the right word choice, when it comes to believing that narrative that carbs make you fat, and especially sweet fruit. Like, stay away from sweet fruit, like, God forbid. If you want to follow this lifestyle and if you want to be successful in this lifestyle, if you live in a kind of like a purist kind of way, if you think I'm gonna be vegan, I'm gonna be whole food plant-based, and I'm gonna only focus on eating whole foods because I know that is the healthiest thing you can eat. And I'm not saying it is not. I'm not making a claim here that if your diet consists of refined sugars and refined pasta and refined white rice, that is the healthiest thing you can do, because obviously it's not. But I'm making the point here that they still don't make you fat. You just have to keep the fats low, and for health aspects, mix them with whole foods. Like, just have them as like a addition to help you sustain this lifestyle. I personally, right now, as you see, in the past I've never put really sugar in my smoothies. I started doing that recently as an experiment for myself. First, to prove myself that I actually believe what I say, that carbs don't make you fat. And plus, I've been eyeballing with longer endurance events, races, for next year that I feel like I want to do, and I'm like a little bit terrified of it, but you know what they say, if your goals don't terrify you, they're not big enough. Especially like a half Ironman, which is ridiculous because at this point in time I can't properly swim. I mean, I can swim, but I just can't do that whole breaststroke kind of thing. But yeah, so for that reason, I want to lean down a little bit more in terms of performance. It's not really an aesthetic thing. I'm at a ideal body weight when it comes to my BMI and health, basically. But the reason I seek a little bit of a leaner physique is for running purposes, for running reasons. Because if you're a runner, especially if you go longer distances, every extra kilo you carry is kind of dragging you. Plus, obviously, it's healthier on your ligaments and joints if you have to carry less weight because it's a very high impact sport. And for that reason, this month, or maybe longer than this month, I've been going on my own personal experiment by adding sugar to my meals and increasing my rice consumption and potato consumption, basically, and keeping my fats even lower. So right now I would say no if someone offers me a vegan cake, because I know there's like obviously fat in it as well. So I'm just trying to stay very, not strict, but like focused on my goals for like a month and see how I feel, see how it goes. I wouldn't say it's dieting because I still eat enough calories per day. So I will probably share my results with you guys as soon as I know more in a few months time to see how I reacted to it. I also want to get a blood test. I've not done one in a year, so it would be interesting. I'm still taking vitamin B12 every single day, like most days. Sometimes I forget, but yeah, to just see if everything is in the green area, especially now that I'm experimenting with having more refined sugars in my diet in addition to my mostly whole food plant-based diet. Now here comes to the mental part, and I want to share my kind of experience with it because like I said, I've been on this diet for a few years now, and although my like basic knowledge of, you know, carbs don't make you fat kind of thing has stayed the same, and I've actually learned even more about it because of my degree, and I learned more about the metabolism and all that. It has taken me a while to actually not just know it in my brain, but actually implement it even more, if that makes sense. Because knowing and doing is something very similar. You can know that something is good for you or bad for you and still do the opposite. Like, knowledge is not always the answer. Because let's be honest, we have the knowledge that if you read a book instead of watching TV, if you do some yoga, if you do some meditation and stretches, if you go outside for like at least half an hour every single day and breathe fresh air, you'll feel better. But is it something we do just because we know it's good for us? No. And I think that is very similar when it comes to a healthy vegan diet. I think my number one tip, at least that's how it played out for me, would be to start slowly, to kind of align your knowledge that you have through watching maybe YouTube videos from doctors talking about the scientific research of why this diet is so healthy, or maybe you've seen one of my videos where I explain why carbohydrates can't make you fat, that kind of thing, to kind of align that with your day-to-day diet and eating habits. If you just start out on a vegan diet and you've not been used to eating a lot of fiber, start slow with the fiber, maybe don't overdo it on the beans and the legumes, and don't eat too many green vegetables. I mean, green vegetables are super healthy, but I know that some people have issues stomaching them, especially if their gut bacteria is not used to all that fiber yet. So increase that slowly in the same kind of amount that you increase beans and lentils, because then you usually have an easier time transitioning without feeling bloated, without having discomfort in your gut. When it comes to carbohydrates, you can then be your own kind of guide. First, I would never recommend going to bed hungry, even if you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, I wholeheartedly believe, and I've seen it on myself, the easiest way to lose weight is to cut down the fat consumption. So scratch the added oils, scratch the ultra processed vegan junk, and just focus on healthy foods. And my personal tip is don't exclude all refined carbohydrates. I know there's so much noise on the internet in terms of I've not eaten sugar for 30 days and now I feel amazing. I don't think that's a very good approach long term, especially if your goal is to stay consistent on a vegan diet. Leave some of the refined carbohydrates in and just add more whole foods around them. That is what worked for me, and my brain is now absolutely okay with eating this way because I've seen it on myself. Like, I feel so good. If I could just give you the way I feel on this diet to know what you can look forward to. Maybe I don't even feel like it. Maybe I could feel better. I don't know. But I feel pretty good. Also, the sun is out, so maybe I'm slightly biased now. But yeah, this is a longer video, maybe, depending how short I chop it. I'm gonna enjoy my smoothie now and then do some more YouTube work. It is the summer, I don't have any uni work, it's amazing, and yeah, go on my bike later because the weather calls for it. I'll see you next time if you like. Take care. Bye! That shit is so good. Anyway.